Welcome to another episode of Get Momentum for Online Entrepreneurs podcast with your host, me, Penny Elliott. And today we're coming to you from Taupo. That's why there's a difference in the background. So this is the show where we match the woo with the do. And so it's your perfect mix of mindset and strategy to have fast success in your business so you can actually live the life you thought you were going to. And today I've got someone who's very dear to my heart, Janine, and she's coming all the way from a little town just along the beach from Brighton in London. So thank you so much for getting up this morning and being with me and everyone that's listening in. So we crossed paths in a group, and I think we both just cracked each other up so much and made each other laugh that we thought, right, we've got to get together and have a chat. You spoke to me about books. I spoke to you about like the Chinese astrology and how my charts were. And I've always been really fascinated with this. And I'm not sure if I shared this with you or not, but when I was at boarding school in the age of 14 or 15, we had this we thought she was witchy matron that looked after us at school. And she once pulled me she left it under my pillow, and it was my star chart. And she said that I had the most astonishing chart she's ever come across. And I was like this glowing child, I guess, because I was only 14, young adult, moving around the boarding house and our private school, and she had to do the chart for me. And at that age, I didn't really understand it, but she said, you've got more powers than you'll ever understand that you have, and make sure you harness this. And that's always stuck with me. And then I always, attract these kind of people like yourself into my realm, and I'm like, oh, there we go again. Anyway, so it's wonderful to have you on the show. Let us know what you do, who you help, and you will always introduce yourself better than I possibly could.
Okay, so we met in a group, and as you say, I was quite attracted to you, very outgoing, blah, blah, blah. And I said to you, oh, give me your date. I always say these to people, just give me your date of birth, then I get to know them. And you have got a very astonishing chart. And this year was big changes for you. It was huge, wasn't it? And I was like, ooh, oh, like this. And we connected. And of course, because we're 7 a.m. here and whatever time it is over there, we had to find moments of pockets, didn't we, to chat. But we got there, and things have moved in a really positive way. So I'm a Feng Shui consultant, so I look after people's houses, obviously, and businesses, but mainly more now a Chinese astrologer, because it is my passion. So from your date of birth, I can work out your year ahead. I can support you in decisions, etc. like that. That's basically what I do as a Chinese astrologer. People think, oh, I'll just put this in now, because I was thinking about it yesterday when you said about Chinese astrologer, and someone said, oh, I don't believe in that stuff. I don't believe in it. And I'm like, okay, you don't have to believe in it. Once upon a time, I'd be like, well, you have to believe in me,
Yes.
because what I do is right. Anyway, now I've learned, I go, no, that's fine. But don't put any water, don't put any water in the northeast. And they're like, and I go, bye. And walk off, and they're like, why? What might happen? So that's what I'm saying. So I've sort of changed it, rather than go, oh no, you must like me because I know what I'm doing. And then they come back. They always come back.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and I'm obviously part of your group as well. And some of the days I've had some fairly disastrous days, and then I'm like, what the is going on today? And then I pull out my charts that you sent me, and I'm like, I should have just stayed in bed today.
I know, it is funny. I put on, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, that it was a 999 day, which meant hospitals, blah, blah, blah. And I got contacted, Janine, why didn't you put it up yesterday? But you can actually buy my bundle, and then you would know it was coming,
Yeah.
But actually, she was in hospital, and she read it on Facebook, and she was like, oh my God. So I got this text. I was dancing last night, and I fell over, and I cracked my ankle. So she's in a plaster now. So it does work, as long as you know where your animals are. So that's the most important thing.
Yeah. Exciting. Okay, so I guess I initially wanted to initially we connected through a group that's all about growing your business, and I wanted, when you reached out to me, you were looking at writing a book to help have consistent clients. And I was like, I really need to know what day to launch, because the girl that heads up our group is Katia. We don't need to keep it quiet. The girl that heads up 20K Nation, Katia, who's, been around the blocks. If you guys have watched any of my stuff with me, she's one of my close friends online. And she said that she launched after speaking with you on her most auspicious days, and it was just so easy. And I thought, right, I need to know about this. So I guess like what I would love for you to share with the listeners is like, we're all about creating that consistent clients here. So how do you create that consistent flow of clients? Like, what's your secret sauce?
Right. So for me, if we go slightly back to Cassie, let's just use her as an example then, because that's a little bit easier for me. So from Katia's chart, I had to find an auspicious day. And I don't think Katia will mind me saying that in her career, she's rooster. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I had to find a very auspicious day to go with a rooster and a time. And literally I said, launch it on this day because it was auspicious. Yeah, so it's a calculation. I'll just show you some of my books, this sort of thing. So it's this difficult. Yeah, you see it's quite
it is. So if you're listening, make sure you head on over to YouTube and then you'll be able to see the pictures. So
it's metaphysics, and basically I work with metaphysics. I've trained in metaphysics. So it's all about 1 and 1 makes 2. So I take the date of birth, the Chinese animal, which was rooster in her case. I launched this big product. She made a fortune, as we know. And she had to actually close it on a date. And the last day of the close date was a wealth day. And it was a love day. Okay, so because you have different days for love, days for wealth, days for moving, travel, which obviously we're not all doing that much in there. And I said to her, what you have to do is everything you put out, you have to put a heart on. If you take a picture, you have to do it like this. If you put this, you have to put a heart on. You have to involve your partner as much as you can. You will sell it just doing that. Katie can sell anything. She's amazing, but it was amazing. It just went. So when I launched this year astrologyforwealth.com, which is all the wealth days for people, I actually launched it on an auspicious day for myself, and then closed the cart I think I only did it for about 5 or 6 days, and then closed the cart and made like a lot of money. So even now, like I've got a subscription group, so every now and then I open it, or you have to go on a waiting list for a while if I'm not opening it. When I open it on a wealth day, which is good for everybody. So the people that join the group, it's beneficial to all of them. So it's not always about you, me, it's about everybody. But you have to find those days. So that's what I do.
Amazing. And obviously we're going to put all the links in the show notes, so you can either get on the wait list for when the wealth day comes along and everyone can join. So we'll put all those in the show notes, because it's utterly fascinating. And I think if you're in the first camp where you're like, oh, I don't believe in it, it doesn't apply to me, I think that you are not being in an open-minded place in yourself, and you only need to, and I'm the biggest skeptic out there, let's be honest. I really wasn't into the mindset stuff at all, and it was the thing that I keep having to come back to do, so I think that it's the proof is in the pudding, basically. I mean, you can sit in this lovely calm space telling people about it because the proof is in the pudding, right? You don't have to prove anything, because they just need to start doing things on the right days, and boop, it happens.
I'll just give, like, I'm a woman entrepreneur. There's lots of us out there. We all need to start. So I was a single mum, bringing up a child and everything, and I had to make money for him as well. So I started to learn metaphysics, and then I started to find that you could start buying houses with metaphysics. So I was really lucky. So I bought myself a portfolio of houses.
Were you lucky?
No, I was actually on it. absolutely on it. And like my friends were like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you buying in the northwest? Why are you buying in the north? Because I would find the most auspicious parts of the country to buy. And through all of this, that's what's happened. But then I bought a house that I was doing up to sell, and it was made in the year of the snake, which is very close to my heart. So sometimes, you know, when you go and see a house and you fall in love with it. So I fell in love with this house, and then the idea was going to make a load of money, sell it. But no, I couldn't sell it because the house felt so good to me. So by living in the right house, the Feng Shui was easy to work with. And so I've expanded in different ways and live in a very auspicious house. So, you know, I
You still live in it now, don't you?
Yeah. And it really was a do up and move on. But I've done it up 3 times to move on. And every time I've gone to move on, I go, nah, Feng Shui is absolutely brilliant here. Why would I move?
Amazing. So one of the other things that I guess so much happens online of like, oh, you know, I was this successful and I was that successful and la 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 la, and all this like perfect line to the top. But we all know it's not like that in the real world. And I like to shine a spotlight on that so that women out there that are growing their business and developing their business can understand that there has been setbacks to even, you know, the super successful like yourself. So when have you had to really dig deep to get momentum in your business after a setback? Can you share with us?
Okay, yeah, I can. I mean, obviously, I'm going to talk about this year. Because my job is to travel. I look after businesses as well as houses, homes, people, private people. And so that just stopped March 23rd. And I can tell you guys, there's not going to be much flying next year either, because I'm already doing next year's charts. So I had to reinvent, really. And for me, I'm more of I like to see people, be with people, because I love going into homes and businesses. So for me, this was like a huge change, huge. And I found myself sitting there thinking, what am I going to do? Because it's just so different. Anyway, I was working with a mentor and everything, and spoke to her about my ideas and everything. Anyway, point of conversation, I worked practically 24/7, restructuring my business, re-changing what I am. You know, when everyone else was painting a room because they weren't working, no, that was me in groups, studying, joining courses, doing everything, because I'm not techie. So I had to learn to become techie. I had to learn to use things like moon clocks, strike everything, and build a business online. So yeah, it was really hard, really, really hard. And, you know, I'm not joking. There was a couple of times where I felt, oh, what am I doing? But I knew it's the way to go. And, you know, next year again, online is going to be important. You know, like even beauticians, they're all like, oh, you know, we're going to be closed. What are we going to do? So I'm online training. And they're like, oh, you know, but you can't. I said, but no, but you can go to your client that you had and said, you can't buy this product, but how about making yourself some face masks? Just be inventive, you know? And then they might take you on privately.
And the other thing is when things do open up again, you know, in a couple of years' time, who have they worked with? You. So who are they going to pay premium for to actually see in person? You, because they'll be craving it, right? You know, like when I can finally fly back to the UK and see everyone, I'll be coming down to Brighton. Right? I ride down all the time. So I'll be riding down there and be like, I need a shower, let me in.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
You know, but I really want everyone to listening to hear what you just said was that you really had to like dig deep and learn the tech and not just throw your hands in the air and say, oh, I'm not a techie person. You had to realize, okay, if I'm going to keep this business going, which 1, it's my passion, 2, it's my calling, 3, I love it and want to help as many people as possible, I need to learn this, right? It's not oh, well, I can't do it. Hands in the air, COVID, can I have a payment, government? It's like, right, I need to actually knuckle down, join these groups, surround myself with people who know the path faster than me, get myself a mentor. And then let's go back to the very first bit that you said was you launched your 2 products this year,
Mm.
and you
Yeah,
sold them
astrology
out.
for wealth. Yeah, absolutely. And
Right.
astrology for wealth is being built now for 2021. So it was very successful. It was meant to be. It was easy. It's, you know, it's like a daily horoscope. You have certain things that you can do to bring wealth in, and certain
Mm.
days to launch for wealth. You know, but it's, as I say, it's not always about wealth. I mean, we need money. We need
Yeah.
money. You know, we've got to earn it. But you know, there's meet the person that you want to be with. There's love days. There's days to travel, which we can travel a bit within our areas. There's launch days for our companies. There's so much in it that
Yeah.
so I went straight into that, which took a lot of building, yeah,
Mm.
but it was really, really good for the soul.
Yeah.
It was really good for the soul. So,
Yeah.
and like I said, I came to you about a book. I've changed it a bit. It's now called Date, Marry, Avoid. So it's all about relationships. I had
Really
so much
good.
fun. Yeah, it's always been around, the book.
Yeah.
I've had the .com and the .uk and everything for ages, but I was able to just sit with it. I have had so much fun writing it. And I think it will happen this year. Whereas for years I've thought, nah, I'm never going to get around to it. But it is a case of I never sat and did nothing. I don't know if it was all the silence outside that allowed that expanse to be filled.
Mm.
That's how it felt, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's incredible when you cut out travel time, even like to the supermarket, to the gym, to make coffees for people. You just have an incredible amount of time left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, we were allowed out for an hour, so I used to walk my dog for an hour. And in that time, you know, it was just so relaxing because you knew
Yeah.
that you were just going to go home and do what you wanted to do, which obviously for me
Mhm.
it was, you know, doing what I love. But for anyone who's, you know, got their, you know, their thoughts that they want to have their own business, this year coming up, I'm just going to give you this thing, is to have a side job. Yeah.
There you
So
go.
start something. Start
Mm.
something that you're passionate about in your part-time. If you're not working, start on your passion now, because
Mm.
there's a huge online market about to open. It's opening, yeah, it's
Yeah.
there. But next year we go more online. So I started teaching a small group of 20 people. That isn't small, by the way. I thought 20 was small. It's not small.
No.
Chinese astrology. And I'm loving it. I love it. It is just such an amazing thing, teaching people and having that connection, even if it's through
Yeah.
online. So what I'm saying is next year is about whatever your passion is or something you feel connected to, start working to go online. Because I know we've been put online, but people are going to get used to that sort of way of learning,
Hmm.
you know?
And that way of shopping as well. I mean, I was at
Yeah.
lunch. I mean, we're very lucky here in New Zealand at the moment. We are COVID free. Besides cases at the border and quarantine. And so I was allowed to, we finally got to have my birthday lunch 8 months on at a winery. And we were talking about baby things to buy. I needed to buy a drink bottle for Josh or something. And I was like, oh, where do you go and get that? And all of the girls used to go and shop to buy things. And they were like, oh, you buy it online here. Oh, no, online here is cheaper. Or online here has got points or something like that. So the conversation has completely changed.
Yeah.
So that's a great tip. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, not sure, you know, you've just had the Chinese astrology metaphysics approval to say that this is the year to go for it, 2021.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Absolutely. You know, study, and then go out there. You know,
Amazing.
that's there. And it is gonna work. You know, that's our life is gonna be, you know, I don't want to talk too much about 2021, but we
No.
are gonna have a little bit more of what we've had. And if you're a women entrepreneur or in business or just life in general, you just gotta get with the program. You just
Yeah.
got to get with the program. There's no way around it, you know. We've all got to earn money or what we're going to do. So that is the way to do it. Get online on anything. Like you say, even selling something, a product.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean that you don't have to actually make the product, but you can sell a product with someone else's.
Yeah.
It's that sidekick. to do, really. And if you want to
Amazing.
know when to launch it, contact me.
Yes, and we'll put your details at the end. But
Okay.
before so like I love the fact that your business has really evolved from like through the years, you know, from buying a house portfolio and understanding doing it via metaphysics, and then moving through to helping other people in person, one-to-one, and now you're like fully online and teaching others how to do this. So if you could go back to the beginning, starting your business, knowing what you know now, what would you tell your young entrepreneurial self?
That's an interesting one, because I would have probably told her to get her ass into gear quicker and go out there quicker. What I did was as I said, I was building, I have another business, had sold that, and I just was doing that, and this was like a sidekick for many years, maybe because I didn't have as enough confidence, but I was actually building my portfolio of houses and that sort of thing. And then I went, no, this is me, 2007, I can do this. And then I went from there. So I think my advice to my younger self was, trust you, just go and do it, go and follow that passion.
Trust you. And I mean, if anything, next year is the year to get your side hustle on, so trust you, great advice. And so with all your huge wealth of knowledge and being one of the most prominent people in this area, because I saw that you had a session with your mentor and you actually knew all the answers to the questions that you wanted to ask. So clearly you are like, expanding faster than you'd like to let people know. So what legacy are you wanting to create and leave in this online space now that we're online?
That's an interesting one. When I see the difference using Chinese astrology and Feng Shui makes to people's lives, I love it. To me, it's amazing. Yes, I get paid for it. But when you're working with the people and things start to change in many things, in relationships which were broken but just needed mending a little bit, I just wish that, and I hope to leave, that I will put a footprint on here that really do trust in Chinese astrology and Feng Shui to make the difference in your life. And it's all about energy. It's all about moving the energy in your life, moving the energy in your house. People get stuck, but you don't have to be stuck. You can change everything. We're not we're not a stuck tree. We can move. And so I'd like people to just have this chance to think, I can do it. I can be what I want to be. So that's it. I don't know how that sounds and how it's coming over, but I just want people to be able to do what they can and want to do. It's possible. It is possible. Anything is possible. And I've seen it. I've been around it, so I know it is.
I mean, you're living proof of that. And I think now that you are expanding at a rate of knots in the online space, you really are going to be able to leave that legacy, because you're not just, doing one-to-one within your country. And so I'm super excited to see how this expands and is the new pandemic that we all want to see.
I mean, I used to travel, but like now you can speak to someone on different time zones, obviously, at different hours. I've loved the people that I've connected through this lockdown through Chinese astrology. Has been amazing. Amazing women that have started from nothing and become what they've become. Sometimes when I'm doing a Chinese astrology, I can't say who's come on, but I've had a name, say Janet Smith, and then up comes a Zoom, boom, and I've got someone really famous in front of me, and I'm like, try not to be like too overwrought. Hi.
Oh my God, selfie, Zoom selfie.
and we're all the same. If we're famous, not famous, I'm not famous. But I've always been like, wow, we are all the same wherever we go. So that's part of what I've really enjoyed. Really enjoyed.
Amazing. So we've alluded to like, how can people get in touch with you? So there's different ways, right? So there's membership, you list them out, and then we'll put all the links in the show notes.
Right, so I have an astrology group, Chinese astrology and Feng Shui group, which is called Journey on Facebook. If you want to know anything about me, the easiest thing is to email me on Janine at Janine Lowe, don't forget the e.co.uk. Yeah, I've got Twitter. Oh no, I'm not great on Twitter. I don't know why I'm not great on Twitter. I'm an Instagram and Facebook girl.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's what I love. So those are social media. Janine Lowe Feng Shui, you'll find me. Just type it into Google, my name, and I'm there.
Yeah, it's because she's number one. And have you, how do people get on the, I always ask, have you got a gift for the listeners to get started with, or how can they get on the wait list to know when you open up your different courses from now on?
That's an interesting one. Email me. I'm teaching at the moment astrology, beginners Chinese astrology, throwing in a bit of Feng Shui at the moment. I'm doing a day about next year, which is November the 1st, but I'm not sure if I'm probably going to do 2 or 3 others, because obviously can't just stick it on one day, because different areas, different time zones. So I should do giving some of that. My astrologyforwealth.com bundle is really, I love it. I loved building it. So I'm on 2021. So again, you can email me or get on my email list, and I will send you all the details on that when that comes out.
Amazing. That's really exciting. And so one last soundbite that I always ask everyone I interview is, what's your favorite one-liner you give yourself to get momentum in your business daily?
Right. So this is an interesting, can I just go back quickly to where it came from?
Yes.
So there I was. My marriage was over. Yeah. I had a little 5-6-year-old. And it was one of those days you thought, what am I going to do? And this poem came out. It's called Never Quit. So when anything gets hard for me, I always remember, quitters never win, winners never quit. And I know it sounds a bit corny, but that day when I was actually at one of my lowest, that poem came up. And if at the beginning of lockdown, oh my God, I can't go and do this kind of, as soon as that came up, it's around me, I know that you just can't give up. It's about hard work, getting there, doing it, whatever, So that's where my my little saying comes from
Amazing.
past.
And that's got so much connection. It's not just something that you've read and you've read it quite a few times and you think it's great. It actually takes you back to a point where it couldn't have got any worse. And I guess when it's bad now, you're like, well, hang on a moment. It's not as bad as it was back then when my little boy was 5 and we were standing there. Whoa. So if I can get out of that, I can get out of this.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So that's
amazing. Wow. Well, so I hope you guys have all just absolutely loved all of the information that we've been that Janine shared with us today. And please obviously get in touch with her, absorb this, make this part of your daily routine, to look, to understand your Chinese astrology, to know when good days and when bad days are. I mean, I had several offers for my house that I sold this year, and it was meant to go to auction. It was meant to sell at auction. And I said, look, this is not a good day for me to have an auction, but there wasn't an auspicious Sunday, and that's when auctions are. And I just, I cried when it didn't sell at auction. And then I looked at my chart maybe 2 or 3 days later, and I was like, I actually feel that it's going to happen on, I think it was the 23rd of October. And we had all the negotiations, and the next morning the signed contract came through, and it was less than what I'd hoped. I can say that, but I just had this reassuring soundness that was the right offer, because it was on the right date, and all the others had been sort of skew with. So I went for it.
Yeah. Well done, you. Good for you.
So this really needs to be embraced. And so jump on Janine's socials or her email. We'll put all the links in the show notes, and absorb this, get involved, and make a change in your life. It's amazing.
Yeah, get online. Get online.
Yes, you heard it here. Get online. And we've both got ways that we can help you with that. 60 Days to 3K has opened. You've probably missed the boat by the time you're hearing this, but we will be running it again. So keep your eyes open. And in the meantime, you can, jump into the wealth creation side and know what days that you need to launch and get online and get your business going. So thank you very much for spending time with us this morning. You can go and have a cup of coffee now. I'm going to go to bed. So if you really love this show, make sure that you share it with someone that you think needs to hear this message, because that's how you can give back, is by sharing this. You can also go to ratethispodcast.com/penny and leave a review. I'd be forever grateful, because it means when people are searching through the podcast, they can actually see that you've taken something from this, and it helps share that message to someone you don't know. And then the other great way is obviously we're on the other side of the world from each other, so it would be amazing if you took a photo of where you're listening to us. Put it on your Instagram stories and tag us, because I love to see where people are listening to this podcast. Yeah. Because you'll be halfway through between us, probably. All right. Well, thank you very much. And we will see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.